Good morning, students. So this is physics chapter number 5 lecture number 2, and in this lecture you'll be studying about the torque and potential energy of a magnet in magnetic field and the earth's magnetic field. Okay, so let us start with today's first topic. So the first topic is torque on a bar magnet in magnetic field. Okay, so now clearly look here, this is the direction of magnetic field, that is upwards. A bar magnet is placed in this magnetic field whose length is 2a. And this is the distance r up to which this magnetic field is spread. Okay, and let us suppose initially this magnet is kept at an angle theta with the magnetic field. Okay, so now as you know, magnetic field lines are travel from north to south for a magnet. So that means if this is the direction, they will be going from north to south. Okay, so if this is the south pole of the magnet and this is the north pole of this magnet, which we are taking inside the magnetic field, so this south end of this magnet will experience a force towards north pole. Okay, so this will be the direction, and for north pole it will be attracted towards south, so it will be the force mb. Now as you can see, they are equal and opposite, so net force will come to be 0 in this case. Okay, so again now what will happen, due to these two forces they will form a couple, due to which a torque will come into play and this magnet will start rotating. Okay, so we will calculate what will be the value of that torque. So as you know, torque is Rf, where R is the perpendicular distance between line of force and axis of rotation, and we know F is mb. Okay, so to calculate R, consider this triangle. Okay, before that, if this is theta, this will also be theta. So in this triangle, if you will calculate R, sin theta will come to be perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is sin theta will come to be R upon 2a. R upon 2a, R will come to be 2a sin theta. Put it in the formula of torque, you will get mb into 2a sin theta. Okay, so now if you clearly look here, m into 2a is nothing but magnetic moment. So this will be m. So that is capital M, sorry. So torque will be mb sin theta, or you can say we can write it as m cross b. So torque in magnetic field nothing but the cross product of magnetic moment and magnetic field. Okay, so now we'll discuss two cases. If theta is 0 or 180 degree. If theta is 0 or 180 degrees, sin 0 or 180 is 0, that means torque will be 0. And if theta is 90 degrees, sin 90 will be 1, so torque will come to be mb. Okay, so if the theta is 0 degree, that position is known as stable position or stable equilibrium. Or if theta is 180 degree, that is called unstable equilibrium. And why is it called so, I'll tell you in the next topic. Remember, in both the equilibriums, torque acting on the dipole is 0. Okay, so the question here arises, if torque in both the cases are 0, then why we are saying theta equal to 0 to be stable and 180 to be unstable? So that I'll tell you in the next topic. So the next topic is potential energy of a magnetic dipole in magnetic field. Now consider the same diagram. Okay, suppose I want to rotate in the opposite direction of magnetic field. To do that, I have to do some work. That work will be equal to torque d theta, that is force into displacement, that is torque d theta. Okay, so it will be torque d theta. Let's say initial angle was theta 1 and final is theta 2. So torque is mb sin theta. So again integrate it, you will get mb minus cos theta from theta 1 to theta 2, and by putting limits you will get minus mb cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. Okay, so because upper limit minus lower limit will give you this value. Okay, so now again if I look cases in this, for theta if theta 1 is 0 and theta 2 is theta, that means I am initially the dipole was parallel to the magnetic field, and now I am rotating it to some angle theta. For that, potential energy will come to be minus mb cos theta minus 1, because the work that we have did will be stored as potential energy only. Okay, now second case, if theta is 90 degree initially and we are rotating it to an angle of theta, then u will come to be minus mb cos theta. In this, I am considering two more cases. If theta is 0 and if theta is 180 degree, that is final. Theta 2 is 0 or theta 2 is 180 degree. So this is theta 2. Okay, so this case means initially the dipole was perpendicular to the magnetic field, and now we are rotating it in the direction of parallel to the magnetic field. Okay, so u will come to be because theta 2 is 0. So now this is also theta 2 only. Keep it theta 2 only. Okay, so cos 0 will be 1. So that means u will come to be minus mb in this case. And if in this case, if theta 2 is 180 degree, cos 180 will be -1. So minus mb into -1 will become mb. So if you clearly look here, when theta 2 is 0, the potential energy is minimum. But when theta is 180 degree, potential energy is maximum. This is the reason why we call theta 0 to be stable equilibrium and theta 180 to be unstable, because in this case torque is 0 but energy is minimum. So it is stable equilibrium. But in this case torque is 0 but potential energy is maximum. So it is unstable equilibrium. Okay, so the next topic is magnetic flux. As the electric flux was denoted by phi E, similarly magnetic flux is denoted by phi B. Okay, and similarly it is defined as the dot product of magnetic field and the area vector, that is phi B is equals to integration of B dot ds. Okay, SI unit of magnetic field is Weber and SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber and its CGS unit is Maxwell. Okay, so now magnetism and Gauss law. Okay, so there was a Gauss law in electric field as well, and for magnetism also there is a Gauss law. Gauss law is related to magnetism as it states the net magnetic flux around the closed surface is 0. Okay, so we can say phi B is B dot ds, integration of B dot ds, and this circle again denotes the closed surface, that is magnetic flux, net magnetic flux around the closed surface is 0. And from this we can say that the total magnetic field lines entering the surface is equal to total magnetic field lines leaving it. Okay, so now we will talk about the Earth's magnetic field and we will see the various axes that we are related. So okay, so now let us start with Earth's magnetic field. So next we'll talk about features of Earth's magnetism. So now this is the Earth. Now if you know the geographical north is here and geographical south is here. So it was seen if we suspend a freely magnet, then it comes in rest with the position of north pole near the geographical north and its south pole at geographical south. But as you know, there is always a repulsion between north-north. So this is possible only when some magnetic pole is there, south magnetic pole is there near geographical north. So that means that the south magnetic pole of Earth's magnet is lying towards geographical north and magnetic north pole of Earth's magnet is lying towards geographical south. Okay, so SM and NM are the south magnetic pole and north magnetic pole of the Earth. Okay, and which we are suspending a magnet, that is a magnet on Earth only, which is suspended freely. So if now you suspend a magnet, as you know, this is south magnetic pole, so north pole will come here and south pole will come here of that freely suspended magnet. Okay, so NG is geographical north, SG is geographical south, SM is Earth's magnetic south pole and NM is Earth's magnetic north pole. Always remember these are for Earth's magnet because Earth itself acts as a giant magnet. Okay, and what was seen, see, this is the geographical axis and this is called magnetic axis. So it was seen that the angle between geographical and magnetic axis is around 16 to 17 degrees. That is, they are tilted, and the reason for this tiltation is not known yet, but they have some angle between them. Okay, so this is the angle between geographical axis and magnetic axis. Okay students, now I'll discuss the homework solution of the questions that were given to you in the lecture number 1 of chapter number 5. Okay, so basically 3 questions were given to you. Question number 5, 12 and 15. Question number 5 was just a formula based questions. So I'll be discussing question number 12 and 15. Okay, so question number 12 says, so the question number 12 says that you have a bar magnet and you have to a point P which is lying on the axial line, and you have to calculate what will be the magnetic field. Okay, so now as we have calculated in the theory lecture, magnetic field comes to be Bn minus Bs, which comes to be mu naught upon 4 pi 2m upon r cube. Now the magnitude you all must have calculated, but if we talk about the direction, see clearly here we are calculating Bn minus Bs and that is coming to be positive. That means the direction is of the direction of Bn. So we can say on axial line the direction of magnetic field is from south to north because Bn is pointing from south to north. Similarly for equatorial line, now if you see the equatorial line, again Okay, so it is the equatorial line which is passing from the center of the magnet. Now, if we calculate net magnetic field, see, when you will resolve Bn and Bs, these components will come. Bn sin theta and Bs sin theta will cancel out. So you will get only Bs cos theta and Bn cos theta is this direction. That means, and this is pointing from north to south, that means magnetic field on the equatorial line will have direction from north to south. Okay, so on axial line the direction of magnetic field is from south to north, and on equatorial line the direction of magnetic field is from north to south. Okay, so the next question is question number 15. So it has two parts, and in the first part the question says the question says a short path magnet of magnetic moment 5.25 into 10 power minus 2 is placed with its axis perpendicular to the Earth's magnetic field. So let us suppose this is the axis of the magnet and this is the direction of magnetic field. They are perpendicular to each other. It is given in question. Now it is asked, at what distance from the center of the magnet is the resultant field at 45 degrees with the Earth's field? That means we have to go on a perpendicular bisector in first part. It is saying at perpendicular bisector, for what field does your resultant will make an angle of 45 degree with the electric field. With the Earth's magnetic field. So see, this is Earth's magnetic field which is perpendicular to the axis of magnet, and this is the resultant which we have supposed is making an angle of 45 degree. Okay, now you know on the axial line of a dipole, the magnetic field lines is from south to north, and on equatorial line it is from north to south. So now this is the equatorial line, so magnetic field will point from north to south. Okay, so we have to calculate this distance. Okay, so now as you can see clearly, the resultant will be at 45 degree only when BE will be equal to BM. You know already the value of BM, which is mu naught upon 4 pi m upon r cube. Put it equal to BE. BE is given in question to be 0.42 cos. So R will come to be 5 centimeters. Okay. Okay, so in the next part, same question is there, only the point is now lying on the axial line. So now if the point is on axial line, again, this is BE, resultant should make an angle of 45 degree. Now you know on axial line the direction of magnetic field is from south to north. So this is BM. Again, if the resultant is 45 degree, that means BE and BM should be equal. BM is mu naught upon 4 pi 2m upon r cube. You know this. So this will be equal to BE. Again, BE is given in question. Put that value and you will get R to be 6.3 centimeters. Okay. Okay, so after doing these topics, you can do question number 3, 4, 6, 7 and 8 from your NCERT book.